happy ending will be mine. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing a Once Upon a Time review with my friend Lauren. Welcome to the channel, Lauren.
Hi, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm dressed as snow. This is the most snow fairy tale land.
It's pretty. You did. She wore a cloak a lot throughout because she was always on the run as a bandit. Yeah, no, you very much captured the Snow White of Once Upon a Time.
But yes, and you are dressed as Emma. Show the red jacket. You look awesome.
Why did you do this?
Because this is my happy ending.
It's about an evil fairy tale queen who curses an entire fairy tale kingdom of characters, and they end up trapped in a small town in Maine with no memories of their former life.
The evil queen did it with her curse. She sent everyone from the enchanted forest here.
Then why does everybody just leave?
They can't. If they try, bad things happen.
It's a curse because in our world there are no happily ever afters. A place where the only happy ending will be mine. Every episode switches between the real world and flashbacks of the characters' former fairy tale lives.
I'd like a room. What's the name? Swan. Emma Swan.
Emma! What a lovely name.
Thanks. Welcome to Storybrooke.
She's actually the product of true love from Prince Charming and Snow White. So when this curse from the evil queen is going to be enacted, the only way that they'll be able to save the kingdom is if they send Emma, their daughter, as a baby through this magical wardrobe.
We have to believe that she'll come back for us.
To the real world, so to speak, and hopefully years later we'll come back to save the entire Storybrooke town and the rest of the kingdoms by breaking this curse that the evil queen has placed upon them.
Enjoy your stay. Emma.
You were describing your book to me. Oh my god, that sounds so much like Once Upon a Time. You have to be a Once Upon a Time fan.
Yeah, it absolutely is, because it's parallel to my current book that's coming out, where same thing. She has royal parents and gets sent away to a different country.
Find us.
Because of similar situations, they're being hunted and being killed, and so she's grown up an orphan in a life where she doesn't know the love of her parents or know that they did love her and they did it because they love her, and so it creates those trust issues. And now you have to try to manage your life with that gaping hole.
We missed you growing up, Emma, and it haunts us every day.
And that's why we're here now. Back.
How can you two be so infuriatingly optimistic?
So those parallels were kind of interesting.
For any of you out there who love this show and missed this show, please check out Lauren's book, all of her socials. It hasn't come out yet, but follow her so you can get it when it starts. All in the description. Jennifer Goodwin and Jennifer Morrison, if you see them with like the same hair, if they both have like, the long brown hair, they look like they could be sisters. They look so much alike. You don't necessarily catch it in the show because the hair is so different, but their facial features, they look like sisters. They could so easily pass as related.
You do kind of have my chin.
And then the little girl who played young Snow White looks exactly like Jennifer Goodwin. I mean, it looks like you took Jennifer Goodwin and put her in a time machine and de-aged her. And then, or it looks like that was her daughter. I mean, it was amazing. The casting that they did with like the faces of all the people who were related was amazing.
Are you Emma Swan?
Yeah, who are you?
My name's Henry. I'm your son.
Henry? Henry? Oh, are you okay? Where have you been? What happened?
I found my real mom.
Season 1 is spent in like pretty much a showdown between these two women.
You may have given birth to him, but he is my son.
I just want to make sure Henry's okay.
He's fine, dear. I will destroy you if it is the last thing I do.
Your move. You have no soul.
What the hell are you doing?
Picking apples.
Who are not only fighting over their son, but start having a battle over Sheriff Graham.
Henry came and found me. Graham kissed me.
In the fairy tale world, this character was the huntsman who was supposed to kill Snow White, but doesn't.
You're going to kill me.
You have good instincts.
And you have too much armor.
In this world, you could literally rip someone's heart out of their chest. So Regina is kind of like an authority on hearts.
Did you think you can fool me with the heart of a stag?
Who's gonna know this isn't a human heart? This isn't Snow White's heart.
She learned it from her mother. Cora was the master of all heart ripping.
Yeah.
So.
I wanted a heart, and a heart I shall have.
In Once Upon a Time, when you take someone's heart, you can actually puppet them.
What are you gonna do to me?
You're not mine. My pet.
She's got base needs just like anybody else.
Sure does. I would say that Regina has a lot of base needs.
Take him to my bedchamber.
She turned Christian Grey into her submissive.
I didn't even think about that till now, until you say that. Yeah, he pretty much was. And because she had his heart, he just kind of was, had to do whatever she said.
I was disappointed when he died. I thought he was a great character. He had good chemistry with Emma, but he left to go be in 50 Shades of Grey. Jamie Dornan left Once Upon a Time because he was cast in the lead role of Christian Grey in 50 Shades of Grey, which conflicted, I guess, with the filming schedule of Once Upon a Time. So they killed his character off, even though the producers wanted him back for more episodes.
To what do you owe your success?
I exercise control in all things, Miss Steele.
I think it was such a bad movie. His character in 50 Shades of Grey, it should be called 4 Shades of Grey because all he does is work and eat and sleep and fuck. That's it.
That is true.
What was he like?
He was really boring.
This character has no personality in those movies, and in this, he had like such an interesting personality.
So you're leaving me for her?
I'm leaving you for me. I'd rather have nothing than settle for less. Nothing is better than what we have. I need to feel something, Regina, and the only way to do that is to give myself a chance.
Graham.
I'm sorry. It's over.
I was really sad in season 1 when he didn't make it all the way to the end. I really liked him.
The magical worlds of Once Upon a Time. Did they overdo it? Because they incorporated as many magical worlds as possible. They brought in Oz, Wonderland, Neverland, Arendelle, the World Without Color, which they brought in for Frankenstein, which I thought was really weird because Frankenstein, he came from Earth in like the 1700s. And why did they make up that for Frankenstein but let Peter Pan and Robin Hood characters come from Earth? They brought in so many characters. I mean, they brought in every character from every public domain story that they could get their hands on.
I love how we were able to interweave characters that I never would have imagined ending up in the same narrative. It allows so many different possibilities for backstory and character.
Mr. Gold is Rumpelstiltskin, the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, and the Crocodile from Peter Pan, and then Ruby is Rose Red from Snow White and Rose Red, and she's Little Riding Hood from the Big Bad Wolf.
Megan, who plays Little Red Riding Hood. And we were saying there's nothing in literature that separates those stories that says that these could not be one and the same.
By the way, can I say with that how annoying that was? What woman who's going to work as a waitress sits there and wears these high red heels that they had her wear in season 1? I'm like, come on. Like, I get the short shorts, and she had the, I'm sure she was there for the male fans of the show, and obviously some other females too.
Oh, yeah. That was all male gaze, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. But it was just like, really? A waitress all day long on these high, like 7-inch high heels? It was just like, oh, God.
So, did they overdo like this? Like, we have to bring in everything and everyone.
I do think so. And I'll say I was not happy with Rumple being the Beast. That was one of my biggest pet peeves of it, because I really loved Beauty and the Beast storyline. I really wanted to see that. And so I wasn't a big fan. I'm sorry for all you Rumple Belle fans. I really wasn't a fan of that. I wanted them to have their own storyline like Cinderella and everybody else kind of did. But no, I do agree with you. I think sometimes to get it in there, or because people wanted to see their favorite fantasy storyline, that they would kind of mix it in and throw it in. I think that's why after season 2, and I mean, mostly season 3 was, good, but then I think after that it became a little convoluted, because you're trying to add all these people somehow into the Snow White charming storyline.
I'm certainly hoping for more mashups in the Snow White world.
Pinocchio You know, it'd have the blue fairy.
Jiminy Cricket, you know, Little Red Riding Hood.
Does everybody have, you know, a story connected to that? It was a little too much overall. And
in the beginning, the fairy tale characters, it wasn't as grim as a Grimm's fairy tale, but it wasn't as light and fluffy as Disney is. So it was like their own take on the characters.
It did become too Disney-fied.
Like Elsa and Anna's dress. Elsa did not change her dress. Like, she was in Storybrooke for weeks and she kept the same dress on.
And the train. Like, who walks around with the train all the time? Like, that was driving me crazy. I'm like, freaking take off the train. You're walking in a freaking Storybrooke. Why do you have you're not in a wedding? Like, come on.
This is not going to bother a lot of people, but I personally hate it what they did to Peter Pan. They turned him into a complete psychopath.
Oh, I understand you're upset. Most parents' worst fear is that their child will be taken away from them.
And I hated it.
Yeah, it goes back to that trying to combine too many stories in once, because then you learn with Peter Pan that it's actually Rumpel's father.
Knife in my childhood, you bastards.
Like Sebastian Stan with Mad Hatter, you know, I think they wanted him for more episodes too, but then he involved himself in the Marvel universe. Well, you know, I was kind of bummed about him too, because he's such a talented actor, and so only to get a couple of episodes, and even when the curse broke and we got to go back to some characters, we never really got to see much about the Mad Hatter after that, and so that was a little disappointing there too. I think it would have been better if they somehow wrote the story to where these characters could have a major impact in their stories versus just trying to mesh it in and say, hey, we got it all together. And like I said, I was not a fan of the Rumpel, Belle. I really wanted to see the bees separately from that. So that was hard to watch for me a little bit.
They had such a bad toxic relationship through the whole thing. I hate it. I think this was like the worst relationship on the show.
It wasn't one that I shipped at all on the show.
No, me neither. Okay, so let's get into the one that you did.
I did. Yes, I am the Captain Swan.
Who are you?
Killian Jones, but most people have taken to call me by my more colourful moniker. Hook. Normally, I prefer to do other more enjoyable activities with a woman on her back. When I jab you with my sword, you'll feel it.
Emma does not fall for him immediately. This is a very slow burn enemies to lovers romance.
It is, yeah.
As in Captain Hook?
Ah, so you've heard of me.
And he's like always depicted as such an evil bastard in like every story. This guy's got a really bad rep, but he's so hot. So I think it kind of like played into like that trope.
Typical bad boy, right?
Yes, you know, like the misunderstood bad boy comes to town.
Yeah.
Swan, are you avoiding me?
I'm not avoiding you. I'm just...
Don't tell me you're not avoiding me anymore, because I'm actually quite perceptive, and this is avoiding me.
No, I know.
They never like wanted to actually change each other, but they were there and supportive of each other.
Well, I know you feel like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders, but at some point, even though we're quite different, you've got to trust me.
That's what you think this is about? That I don't trust you?
Is that not what it's about?
Of course I trust you.
Then why do you keep pulling away from me?
Because everyone I've ever been with is dead. Neil and Graham. I can't lose you too.
There's one thing I'm good at. Surviving. Oh. How many times do I have to tell you, love? I'm a survivor.
With Hook, even though there was a lot of things that went on with him and he had a lot of flaws, like it was always, he was just there and he was willing to support her.
We have a crisis right now.
There is always a crisis. Perhaps you should consider living your life during them. Otherwise, you might miss it.
We're under attack!
I don't know if the writers yet knew they were going to be the end game, but I knew as a fan watching that, I'm like, that's it. They're going to be the end game. They're going to be true love based on what the show premises was about.
Don't follow me. Wait 5 minutes. Go get some firewood or something.
She's all like, don't follow me. And she can't even like talk. She's like ready to fall off on her feet. And his reaction too.
At the very least, it's a reminder that you've got a piercing-eyed, smoldering pirate who loves you.
Show your face, you coward. You're a girl.
Woman.
You can't hide from me!
find you!
I told you I'd find you. No matter what you do, I will always find you.
I will always find you. Me and my husband, we both write. We're both into sci-fi and fantasy. That's our like joining point. These two, their joining point is constantly being separated and being pulled back together and separated, being pulled back together. It was like, oh my God, it was like, it's tedious.
You found me.
But you never have to worry, I will always find you. You will always find me, and I will always find you.
Yes.
It was like, oh my God, it was like, it's tedious.
Yeah, it should have been used sparingly. I mean, I like it, right? When you can say, like, you know, you have a catchphrase for a couple, but yeah, I agree. It was for like every small little thing. And I'm like, okay, I can get it for like the big things, like, you know, the end of the year curse that's coming or whatever. But yeah, when it became like every small 5 seconds, you're like, I will find you. I'm like, okay.
Who are you? What are you doing?
I'm helping you remember. I told you, I will always find you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Could we not last the Mohicans this here to the death?
I will find you. No matter how long it takes, no matter how far. I will find you.
I mean, everyone loved Daniel Day-Lewis when he said it. I was like, yeah, you'll find her. But in this one, it was just like, here we go again. We got it, you'll find her.
This reminds me of like certain lines work really well in certain stories.
You're tearing me apart!
What?
You say one thing, he says another, and everybody changes back again!
Great in Rebel Without a Cause. Wasn't so good in The Room.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
A few moments later.
Good night, Johnny.
Don't worry about it. I still love you. Good night, Lisa.
Catherine, I'm sorry.
The charming Catherine Snow love triangle in the first season. Oh my God. That went on for so long.
David didn't tell you about us?
No, of course not. That would have been the honorable thing to do.
He just became such a spineless douchebag. He would go to marriage counseling with his wife and then rush off to go see Snow White. And then he would like tell Snow White he was going to tell his wife that he wanted to leave and get a divorce and do Snow White. But then he never did. But then he like left his wife and then didn't mention that it was for Snow White.
You're going back to her.
It's the right thing to do.
The right thing to do was not to lead me on.
They dragged this out for so long.
I didn't want anyone to get hurt.
Now everyone is hurt.
It felt like he was leading and stringing both women along.
It didn't make him so charming in my eyes with the way he was being like a douchebag. I'm like, you're a whiny douchebag. I hated that whole thing, yeah.
And I don't think the writers intended for him to come across as like that, but because they dragged it on and on and on.
They needed to until the curse could be broken.
And then she got listed as the homewrecker in the town and everyone turned on her.
Who did this?
I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know how any of this happened.
You don't know? Really?
And the nuns were all judgmental towards her. And I was like, wait a minute. She wasn't the one who was married. And she wasn't the one who was like stringing two people along at the same time. So
and then how about he goes and punches Dr. Whale?
What the hell was that for?
Sleeping with my wife.
Do you remember? Because she had the one night stand with Dr. Whale. And then he goes and punches him like after the curse is all done. And I'm like, you've got a lot of freaking nerve. I mean, I agree. I hated that whole thing.
I liked them in like season 2 and beyond when they became a couple. They were a
good
good couple.
Story.
Yeah, they were a good couple when they finally got together. But that love triangle was just painful.
Yes.
Regina Mills. Her arc through the whole show was so satisfying.
That's beautiful, sweetheart.
Thank you, Daddy. Beautiful? I'd hardly call that beautiful.
Regina is a product of a narcissistic, abusive mother.
You ride like a man. A lady should be graceful. Who's going to want to marry you when you behave like a commoner?
Honey, please leave her alone.
Stop coddling her. She's becoming an old maid. All the other girls her age are married.
Why do you always have to criticize me?
I'm not criticizing you. I'm helping you.
Her mother, Cora, was a raging narcissist with magical abilities.
Don't you walk away from me.
Oh!
Mother!
The concept of like a narcissist with as much power as Cora had, magical power, is like terrifying. Cora was the one responsible for all of Regina's misery. Every ounce of Regina's misery was her mother's fault.
You killed my mother. Why? Why did you take her from me?
To make my daughter the queen.
Cora was the one who spooked Snow White's horse as a little girl and like dragged Regina into that whole mess with like the king wanting to marry her.
You saved my life.
I have scoured the land looking for a wife. I've yet to find a woman with an interest in my daughter until now. Will you marry me, Regina?
Life with a stable boy is a far cry from a life as queen.
Being queen means nothing. All I care about is you. Snow! Your father, King Leopold, he's a kind and fair man. But I don't love him.
And that man in the stables. You love him.
You must keep it a secret. And above all, you mustn't tell my mother.
Cora was the one who manipulated a 10-year-old child.
I love her so much, but she's not letting me help her, and I know she's unhappy. You know, I talked to the king about your mother. Losing her must have been so hard.
It was.
Me and Regina, I don't want us to lose each other.
She loves someone else. She made me promise not to tell. But she'll lose you. She can't lose her mother.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
You could have at least left a note.
Cora was the one who killed Regina's true love, Daniel.
Mother! No! No!
Well, I just knew your mother would let you marry him once she knew how happy it'd make you. Once she knew how much you love him.
You ruined everything. I loved him.
Love is weakness, Regina.
You have such a wonderful mother. She would do anything for your happiness.
Wipe away your tears, because now you're going to be queen.
Did you tell her about me and Daniel?
Yes.
But I told you not to.
I'm sorry. I just didn't want you to lose your mother. Like I've lost mine.
And then Regina's hatred of Snow White was such misplaced anger.
You promised to keep my secret. You promised, but you lied. I was very young and your mother.
She ripped his heart out because of you. Because you couldn't listen to me.
Because Regina refused to blame her mother, and she blamed Snow White instead. And again, 10-year-old child, wasn't Snow's fault. Okay, but this is called misplaced anger, and I've seen this happen. The problem with this is, like, people are so desperate to, like, want a parent, want a family, that they can't and they will not get mad at, like, their abusive family member, because that need to have a mother or a father or a sibling is so ingrained in us that we can't direct it at the person who deserves it. We misplace it onto someone else. And then
you see it too, because Cora, obviously doesn't have her heart throughout the entire time. I mean, a lot of that too is like she has no feeling because she has no heart in there.
I'm the queen of hearts. Do you really think I'd be so careless as to keep my heart where everyone else does?
The scene where she shoves Cora through the magic mirror is so satisfying. That was so satisfying. It felt like the moment when, okay, I am done being manipulated by this bitch. I'm done. She shoves her through. But then in later seasons, when Cora comes back, Regina just falls right into the trap again of wanting her mother.
Mother.
And then when Snow kills Cora, Regina was so mad at Snow.
Mother? Oh. What's wrong?
You did this. The only appropriate response to Snow White killing Cora should have been thank you.
Your mother did you no favor.
Shut up! That need for a mom, no matter how abusive, it never goes away.
How sweet.
What do you want?
She wants me.
I love that the thing that like saved Regina ultimately was Henry.
Okay, I'll come with you. Just leave them alone.
When Regina saw that she was doing to Henry what her mother did to her, trying to smother him, trying to like keep him like an object, she saw her mother's abusive behavior and how she was parenting Henry, and she let Henry go live with his biological family.
Henry, you're gonna go home with David. I'm sorry I lied to you. But I want you to be here because you want to be here, not because I forced you, and not because of magic. I want to redeem myself.
Yeah, I thought that was such a growth for her when she, and not even just letting him go, the fact that the last gift that she gave them was, I'll give you a year's worth of, like, she gave them all happy memories, knowing that she wasn't going to be a part of them, right? And so that's tough, because I mean, I know, granted, she followed her mom's footsteps, right? She didn't have her heart either in the first seasons. She always had it somewhere separately, but it's like, you know, here you go through, you've raised this kid, then the mom comes back and he's like all about the mom, you know, meaning Emma, and then, you know, finally he starts to love her, you know, for who she is.
I was right. You really have changed.
And then she has to give him up. And then we can't get her Robin Hood.
So what went on between us
was real. My feelings for you are real. But Marion is my wife. I loved her, and I made a vow until death do us part.
My heart broke for her. I'm just like, can this woman not just get a happily ever after? I mean, she deserves one at this point.
Yeah, people were upset that Regina did not have a love interest at the end. But her whole thing of going bad, she was so mad that she lost her love.
No!
I shall destroy your happiness.
The fact that she was able to find a way to be happy without having a romantic partner, I thought was a good arc.
The good queen. Long may she reign.
Take him to my bedchamber.
She turned Christian Grey into her submissive.
To what do you owe your success?
I exercise control in all things, Miss Steele.
It should be called 4 Shades of Grey because all he does is work and eat and sleep and fuck. That's it.
What was he like? He was really boring. Really boring. Really boring.
I'm doing a 50 Shades of Grey with Kitty Bardot. She's coming
Glad
on.
I'm not doing that. I'd be blushing.
The 50 Shades of Grey review is coming soon, guys, I promise. If you love this show, please check out Lauren's book when it comes out. Please follow her. I think you'll love Lauren's novel. Follow all of Lauren's socials, please. Thank you so much, Lauren. This was so much fun.
Thanks, Ashley. I really appreciate it. Love talking to you all. Bye.
Bye.